Hello YouTube, Yori here from Team Endgame, bringing you a set review of Try 3 for Gear Chronicle. Starting off, we have Interdimensional Dragon, Crossover Dragon, Generation Break 3, Counterblast 2. If you have a heart card with Chronojet in its card name, search a deck for up to 2 cards with Chronojet in its card name that have a different card name as each other, call them separate rear guards, shuffle your deck, and until the end of the turn, they get, as a rear guard, choose this unit and one of your other rear guards with Chronojet in its card name, put them into your soul. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, pay the cost. If you do, stand all of your Vanguard. Now, I like it because it gives Gear Chronicle another restander, and it does plus you like the 2 units, and they will just stay if the effects don't go off. Downside is your Vanguard, they can just let through, and then they just can heavily guard the rear guards. It kind of pushes it towards a finisher then, in that case, because then you can't allow the Vanguard or the rear guards to hit. But at the same time, the Chronojet cards can be anywhere, so potentially you call these 2 units, but you also have a Chronojet behind your Vanguard. You can put those, like the attack, the one which just hit, and the one behind the Vanguard in, so you still have a rear guard. I like it, but I can see why a lot of people probably won't use it, purely on the basis of it's very specific and you have to run it in a Chronojet deck, because you need Chronojet and Chronojet G. Next up, Pulsar Shiftbullet Dragon, Generation Break 2. Counterblast 1 and retire this unit. At the end of your turn, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 cards with Chronojet in its card name that have different names as each other, reveal them, choose a card from among them, call it to rear guard, put the rest into your hand and shuffle your deck. Its second skill is auto rear guard. When your Vanguard with Chronojet in its card name attacks, this unit gets plus 2k until the end of the turn. So the upside with that is, if your Chronojet attacks twice, so your next stage, it gets plus 4k. I don't get entirely why you have to Counterblast 1 and retire this unit, because you make yourself 5k just to call the card. It does synergize slightly with the G guard later on, but I don't think it's great. I can't see it being used that as well. It just doesn't seem to synergize with anything else in Gear Chronicle, because it doesn't work with Time Leap, and you just neg 1 to call 1, and if you only have 1 in your deck, you have to call it, you can't add it to your hand. The only upside it has potentially is if you look at if you know in your hand you have no stride fodder, so you add that 5, you add the grade 3 for stride. Next up, Highbrow Steam Arlim, the G guard, auto, choose a total of 2 cards with Chronojet in its card name that have different card names each other. From your hand or drop zone, reveal them, put them on the bottom of your deck in any order. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, you may pay the cost. If you do the shield, this unit gets plus 15k shield. So as G guards go, it's quite good. The 15k for no counterblast is very nice, and adding the 2 Chronojets to the deck helps with the GR, and also putting cards back into your deck is helpful, just in case the game stalls out. And if you can shuffle the deck, you get 2 grade 3s, so potential stride for the back. I quite like it. You would only really play 1, at a very stretched 2, because Gear Chronicle have such good other G guards. But it's nice that, again, the cost is you just put 2 cards back to your deck, so you aren't too worried if you don't have any counterblast, any soul. It's just put 2 cards back, and it can be from the hand. So if you clog with all grade 3s in your hand, they aren't dead to you potentially. You can use them to get the 15k shield, which is nice. Moving on is Throttle Caliber Dragon. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, search your deck for up to 1 card with Chronojet in its card name, ride it as rest and shuffle your deck. And as a rear guard ability, when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if you have a Grey Exhaust Dragon in your Vanguard or Soul, you may return this unit to your hand. Now, this is the grade 3 of Gear Chronicle's Riot Chain, and it's quite nice. It does synergize with the rest of the Riot Chain, as you would hope, but if you're running a Chronojet deck, you kind of want all Chronojet, so you either take away one of the Chronojets to have this, which would be basically a Chronojet corrector for Ride, because it doesn't do anything with stride, and it's attack and return potentially if on rear guard. It's okay if you're using the Riot Chain, but I wouldn't. It's rubbish without the Riot Chain basically, and there are better options to correct the Chronojet ride, or you just run 8 Chronojets. I get why it's there, and it works well with the rest of the Riot Chain, which we'll get to, but at the same time it's not great. But it's nice to have a Riot Chain. Moving on, we have Line of Feed Dragon as rearguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a Grey Exhaust Dragon in your Vanguard or Soul, this unit gets plus 2k into the end of that battle. And rearguard, once per turn, choose 2 cards with Chrono Jet in its card name from your hand, reveal them, and return them to your deck. Shuffle your deck and draw 2 cards. Now, I really like this card, regardless of, like, the first part, it helps you out to Ride Chain, so it becomes 11k attacker, that's fine. But what I really like is to choose 2 cards with Chrono Jet, put them back to your deck, shuffle and draw 2. So potentially you could clog with grade 3s and you just put 2 back. So it doesn't state that it has to be different card names. That may be errated because the rest of the set is all very different card names, but I really like the fact that you just go these 2 back. It works so well with the GR, and I just like the fact that you put 2 grade 3s to draw 2, so potentially you should at least plus some guard, and there are other ways to get Chrono Jets to your hand, so I really like this card. Steam Tamer Arka, which is a perfect guard. Choose a Zodiac Time Beast from your hand and discard it. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your units that's being attacked, and that unit cannot be hit until the end of that battle. Generation Break 2, from the drop zone, choose one of your other cards named itself and the Zodiac Time Beast trigger unit from your drop zone. You bind them face up and return this card to your hand. This helps Zodiac Time Beast decks fuel their bind zone. It is Generation Break 2, so you're only really going to do it after, well, second stride basically. And the upside is it can protect anything, so it doesn't matter if they're attacking a rear guard, you can still perfect guard it. The problem is you need to ditch a Zodiac Time Beast, and unless you run a heavy Zodiac Time Beast deck, it potentially is just going to be a dead card in your hand. If you are going to use it, potentially it'll just be like a one-of, just in case, but then you would have to run at least 2 to make its Generation 2 break effect worthwhile. So it depends on how many Zodiac Time Beasts you have in your deck. Your triggers would be them, because they have to be for this effect, but it depends how heavy your deck's going to be. Next up is Interdimensional Beast Upheaval Pegasus. That's a reprint. Moving on, we have Steam Maiden Issue 2, which is Soul Blast 1. When this unit is placed on Vanguard or Rearguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to one of your other grade 2 or greater Rearguards. To the end of the turn, it gets Time Leap. Counter Blast 1. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, pay the cost. If you do, Time Leap this unit. You may have the unit chosen with this effect get grade -2. So, effect-wise, you give a unit on hit, Time Leap it, but the upside is you give a unit potentially grade -2, and that's what I see as the key bit of it. Soul Blast 1, give a grade 3 you have on Rearguard, make it grade 1 or grade 2 to a grade 0. When you Time Leap it, you can start the synergies from there. I still think it's quite bad. If you're going to use it, probably at 1, because it doesn't really synergize with Stride at all, so it's a Rearguard only effect. Your soul can be used in other ways. The idea of it isn't really to hit, that's just a nice bonus effect, so if you give the Rearguard an effect to hit on hit, but it's just a rare. I don't think it's that great, it's sort of filling space. Next is to grade 2 of the Ride Chain, Grey Exhaust Dragon. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, choose a smart Fender Dragon from your soul and you may call it to Rearguard as rest. And Time Leap, auto, Counterblast 1, when this unit is placed on Vanguard or Rearguard from your hand, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your other grade 2 Rearguards and Time Leap it. Now on paper, that makes no sense. You ride it on grade 2, how are you going to have a grade 2 Rearguard on ride? That's where the grade 1 comes in, which basically makes it itself a grade 2 if you get the ride chain off. So you can basically go on ride, get a grade 3, so this is where the ride chain synergy works, where you call out the grade 3 and you have that option of if it hits, I call it back to hand, you're guaranteed grade 3 ride. But other than that, it's not bad to Time Leap for grade 2, I guess. It can again work okay with the previous card, Steam Maiden Issue, but you're basically Time Leaping a grade 2 to a grade 3. It's not great, and outside the ride chain it's not ideal. You're not really going to look for it as I can't wait to get this card on the Rearguard, it's going to open up all my combos. It's just a ride chain, basically grade 2 on ride. Next, Pulsar Farm Peacock. When this unit is placed on Rearguard from your deck due to Time Leap until the end of turn, you may have this unit get continuous Rearguard. This unit cannot be put into your deck by the effect of cards. So you Time Leap it out and you can't Kronos command it back into your deck, so that's quite a nice idea there. If you Time Leap a grade 1, which is a Zodiac Time Beast, it feels Demiurge, the Deus Ex Machina one. But other than that, you plus 5k guard is the only option I can see of it. Because it's a Zodiac Time Beast, you run it in Zodiac Time Beast deck. Otherwise, I don't think it's that great. You're time leaping something which can't go into your deck, so you can't get that time unit back, you just get rid of it just to get 5k guard. Timebreak Dragon is also a reprint. Steam Rider Sharm is next. Generation Break 1. When this unit is placed on rearguard due to the effect from one of your cards, you may have this unit get power minus 2k until the end of turn. If this unit gets power minus 2k this way, this unit gets boost until the end of turn. So you time leap a grade 1, which you would hope to be about 7k, into a 7k booster. It's not bad because it helps potentially if you have to GR, the 2 grade 3s are calling out, you want to get from a booster. But other than that, it's 9k on its own, so you kind of really want to use it to time leap into it or call it by effect. It's not great. It's, if you want to use it, maybe at 1, but I just don't see the synergies really with it for everything. Steam Fighter Nagish is next. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, for each rearguard you have more than your opponent, this unit gets power plus 2k into the end of that battle. So, ideal scenario is you Chronos command their entire field, you call this, well you have an entire field, so you call your entire field, they have no field, you have 5 rearguards more, gets plus 10k. 18k swinger on its own, great. You kind of need to have at least 3 more rearguards to get proper benefit with a 7k booster to hit a number. Anything more doesn't matter, anything less doesn't do anything. If you run a Chronos Commander deck, you might use it, otherwise it's not great. I probably wouldn't use it. Potentially 10k if you get rid of 1, if you have 1 more. But when it says more than your opponent, it's not if your opponent has 0 and you have this one, it counts as you having 5. No, that will count as 1 more. So you need to have 3 to their 0 to get it to get 6k. That's why I don't think it's a great card. Riot-disorder Gear Bear is our next card. With Generation Break 1, when this unit is placed on rearguard, until the end of turn this unit gets rearguard. Put this unit on the bottom of your deck. At the end of each turn you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's grade 1 or greater rearguards, and your opponent puts that unit to the bottom of his deck. So if they call this unit out for you, you can have it gain the skill. You call it out, you can have it gain the skill. Obviously doesn't work with time leap, so you could potentially time leap a card and then it gets stuck in the bind zone. But it's quite nice because you can target what you put back, so you could snipe a key card of theirs. Now yes, it has to be a grade 1, 2 or 3, but the upside is that you're not downgrading or upgrading their cards, it's just to the bottom of their deck. But it's 8k, it's not great on its own, you need one heck of a booster for it. I don't think it's that great. Steam Soldier Undalulu. Generation Break 1, Counterblast 1. When this unit is placed on rearguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to 2 cards from your bind zone, return it to your deck and shuffle your deck. If you return 2 cards, draw a card and soul charge 1. So this card is good if you're up against Narukami or Deleters, because they bind and delete, or they just bind. You can put them back in the deck and you get to draw a card, so you get a benefit out of it, and you get soul charge 1, so you get that sort of resource cost. It helps also if you time leap something twice, so it gets lost in time, or you use one of the other effects from the previous cards which will retire themselves or put themselves to the bottom of the deck, so if you time leap them out they get lost in time. That way you can add them back to the deck. So in that way it's quite nice. Problem is, because there's so many options with grade 1s, you put maybe 1 in and it's a nice benefit of, if I find it, great, if not, don't worry about it. It's quite a nice card, and it could be used in a weird counter way against, as I said, Narukami and Deleters, so there's potential. Now grade 1 of the Riot chain, Smart Fender Dragon. On Vanguard, if you have a Chic Folk Dracokid in your soul, this unit gets power plus 3k. And rearguard, if you have a Chic Folk Dracokid in your soul, this unit gets power plus 1k and grade plus 1. So, this is what I mean with the benefit of the grade 2. You would call it from soul, it's a grade 2, you time leap it into a grade 3 of the Riot chain. Chance to get the grade 3 to hand if you didn't get it before. The one interesting thing to note about it, it is a 9k grade 1. That's not going to help if you go in second, because you can't hit those crazy numbers. But what it does help with is if you're going first, they can't just drop their grade 1s to niggle you, they have to get a column. So you're at 9 and their Vanguard's at 7 max, well 7, 8 maybe, 10k no path. So it's quite useful in defensive. If you're going first, it can give you like mini advantage. Going second, not as much. And on rear guard, it's just a 7k, but only if you get the ride chain off. Lastly, in the ride chain is the starter, Chic Folk Dracokid. When Smart Fender Dragon rises unit, look at 7 cards from top of your deck, search for up to 1 Grey Exhaust Dragon or Throttle Caliber Dragon from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. When a unit other than Smart Fender Dragon rides this unit, you may call this unit to rearguard. So the standard 4k on, if you get the ride chain off, top 7 for the grade 2 or 3, if not, it's a 4k booster. So you really need to get the ride chain off, especially because the grade 1 needs the ride chain to go off, whereas it's a 6k booster. Grade 2 not so much, but it's useful because then it gets the grade 1 out and helps try and search the grade 3 if you couldn't get it in the top 7, and the grade 2 doesn't care. But if you don't get the ride chain off, then your grade 1s are useless, because their rearguard effects are normally they'll just be 6k sitting somewhere, or 7 base. This would just be 6k as a booster, and the grade 2 on ride won't be able to help you out as much as it should. But it's just typical, it's a ride chain. It's nice that they have one now, but it's not great. The triggers in this set, you get a critical grind worker, so vanilla, 5k. You get a draw, steam engineer Kusha-ana, vanilla. There's a heal, steam doctor Enja, vanilla. And a reprint, Vainglory-dream Gear Cat. Alright, that's the Gear Chronicle cards from the Tri 3 set. I think some of them have quite nice synergies. They do all sort of synergize with each other in the set. Not so much beneficial from earlier cards, but I think this could have quite fun impact on the game for the Gear Chronicle, especially with the ban list. Maybe get some more options in there, and I do like the GR. Please always remember to like, comment, subscribe, join us on Facebook if you can, and we'll see you next time.